Crypto Trapper with another video today. I hope everyone's doing good. I hope everyone's blessed. This video is about President Biden signing off the crypto order to examine the risks as it rises in popularity. So I'm going to read out this article and I'm going to put a video of him speaking about it at the end of the video. Let me know, give me feedback whether it's positive or negative. But anyway, let's get into this. Biden signs cryptocurrency order to examine risks as popularity rises. Action comes as officials increasingly voice concern that Russia may be using cryptocurrencies to avoid the impact of the sanctions. So anyone who doesn't know, I'm going to briefly stop quickly. For anyone who doesn't know, Russia have been banned from SWIFT. You can watch my previous videos about that. But they basically banned from SWIFT. And basically it's kind of banning their banks, not all of them, but majority of the banks, the main banks, from actually making transactions and basically doing trade. Basically trying to make it harder for them to do trade with other countries. But let me continue with the article. Joe Biden on Wednesday signed an executive order on government's oversight of cryptocurrencies that urges the Federal Reserve to explore whether the central bank should jump in and create its own digital currency. So some of you don't know, some of you may know already, have more better understanding than others, but yeah, the dollar's going down, hyperinflation's kicking in. So yeah, the next would basically what was I gonna say? I must forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah, so it's happening, man. We're going digital. So yeah, it's happening under our noses. So some people know, some people don't. Some people got eyes and they can see what's going on. Some people don't, unfortunately. But I'm gonna continue with the story. So because the Biden administration views the explosive popularity of cryptocurrency as an opportunity to examine the risks and benefits of digital assets, said a senior administration official who previewed the order Tuesday on the condition of anonymity and I can't pronounce the word. Sorry about that, guys. Anonymity terms set by the White House. I apologize for butchering that. Under the executive order, Biden also has directed the Treasury Department and other federal agencies to study the impact of cryptocurrency on financial stability and national security. So yeah, they're gonna look at the impact of how it's gonna affect, and money laundering and all these things, and so forth and so forth. But it's gonna inevitably, you can't join them, beat them. So, well, they could basically, but yeah, it's gonna happen anyway. People are losing trust with the dollar and other nation-backed government currency. So yeah, but let me continue. Brian Dees and Jake Sullivan, Biden's top economic and national security advisors, respectively, said the order establishes the first comprehensive federal digital asset strategy for the United States that will help position the U.S. to keep... Sorry about that. Where was I? Let me read it again. That will help position the U.S. to keep playing a leading role in the innovation and governance of the digital asset ecosystem at home and abroad in a way that protects customers, is consistent with consists with our democratic values and advances US global competitiveness. Dees and Sullivan said Wednesday in a joint statement. So yeah, so China, they've made the digital Wang, sorry, not Wang, Yang, sorry, not Wang. I do apologize, Yang. So right now, China and other countries are leading the step. So the US don't want to fall behind. So the case with XRP, if you haven't heard of XRP, please look into XRP and why that's going to be so pivotal. Do you understand? So let me continue. Not financial advice, by the way. The action comes as lawmakers and administration officials are increasingly voicing concerns that Russia may be using cryptocurrency to avoid the impact of sanctions imposed on its banks, oligarchs, and oil industry due to invasion of Ukraine. So, yeah, they've got concerns of Russia doing those things what I just spoke about. But another thing, I think it actually promotes cryptocurrencies and is bringing it into the forefront again. Last year, I think it was more hype, Elon talking about Doge and all this. But right now, I think I got a video about Ukraine getting donations with cryptocurrencies and how they were using that to buy, they were buying weapons and gear for the war. So yeah, it's very interesting, man. I think they've been looking at cryptocurrencies, to be honest, because Russia's been on sanctions since 2014, if I'm correct. So, but it wasn't banned from SWIFT. But yeah, let me continue. Last week, Democratic Senators Elizabeth Warren, Mark Warner, and Jack Reed asked the Treasury Department to provide information on how it intends to inhibit cryptocurrency use for sanction evasion. That's going to be very interesting. So, let's say Russia's using a certain cryptocurrency blockchain. Are they going to apply? I would like to see how that would work out, man. Again, that would be very interesting. But leave comments on what you think underneath the video, whether it's good, bad, whatever. Let me continue. Biden administration has argued that Russia will not be able to make up for the loss of US and European business by turning to cryptocurrency. Officials said the Democratic President order has been in the works for months before Russian Vladimir Putin invaded Ukraine last month. Dileep Singh, a deputy national security and economic advisor to Biden, told CNN on Wednesday that cryptos really not a workaround for our sanctions. That cryptos really is not a workaround for our sanctions. I think that was a typo on there. The executive order has been widely anticipated by the financial industry, traders, speculators, and lawmakers who have compared the crypto market to the Wild Wild West. Yeah, right now it's the Wild Wild West, but if you do your research into proper cryptocurrencies, the right ones, the ISO 2022s, there's even other ones what's going to win as well, but mainly those, in my personal opinion. And because there's not a lot of regulation, especially in the US, there's not regulation. So the XRP case, what I was alluding to just before, is very important because whatever the decision, I think they're gonna win. But whatever the decision is gonna be the first ever cryptocurrency with actual regulation. So a lot of big players who are waiting for the decision to really step in and make major moves without getting penalized and having the right guidelines to do what they need to do. But yeah, not financial advice, but please look into it, man. In my personal opinion, it's the greatest wealth transfer in human history. So let me continue. Despite the risks, the government said survey shows that roughly 16% of adults, the ad, 16% of adult Americans or 40 million people have invested in cryptocurrencies, and 43% of men aged 18 and 29 have put their money into cryptocurrencies. So that's a little figure. I think it might be a bit lower than that, in my personal opinion, but I don't know how they got the information from that. But a lot of people starting to wake up. The more cryptocurrency get brought up, whether it's in a good light or a bad light, still gonna put attention, do you understand, to the industry and some of these projects anyway. But let me continue. Coinbase Global, in the largest cryptocurrency exchange in the United States, said the company had not seen a recent surge in sanction evasion activity. They're gonna say that anyway, but yeah. Janet Yellen, the Treasury Secretary, said last week that many participants in the cryptocurrency networks are subject to anti-money laundering sanctions and that the industry is not completely one where things can be evaded. I beg to differ. I think there is ways, but I'm not going to get into that. But let me continue. As for the Federal Reserve getting involved with digital assets, the central bank issued a paper in January that said a digital currency would best serve the needs of the country through a model in which banks or payment firms create accounts or digital wallets. Some participants in digital currencies welcome the idea of more government involvement in crypto. I'm very a decentralized type of person. I don't really like centralized entities like government officials and so on and so forth, but it's definitely needed if crypto is going to go to the next stage. So, as I said before, to bring on the bigger players and everyone come in and, because you don't want to be the last person to the party, man, where a dumb person's giving you that information. If a dumb person is giving you that information, the opportunity is already gone, in my personal opinion. But let me continue. Adam Zarinsky, CEO of Inca Digital, a crypto data company that does work for several federal agencies, said the order presents the opportunity to provide a new approach to finance. 100%. The US has an interest in growing financial innovation, Soraski said. He added that China and Russia were looking at crypto and building their own currency. As I was saying before, on China and even Russia looking into it. So everyone's trying to break away from SWIFT to a certain extent, or they want to be their own facilitator of payments. So yeah, more than 100 countries have begun or are piloting their own digital currency, sovereign currency, according to the White House. Catherine Dowling, General Counsel of Bitwise Asset Management, a cryptocurrency asset management firm, said an executive order that provides more legal clarity on government oversight would be a long-term positive for crypto. Going back to what I said, going back to what I said before, having that legal, centralized, legal regulation would just make it so easier so people know what they can and can't do. So right now, as in the article stating, it's the Wild Wild West, but a lot of people are doing certain things before the regulations. Does that make sense? Or they're getting themselves into position, if that makes sense. Because right now there's no regulations, so you can almost do anything to a certain extent. So the innovators normally are the people who they've cut ahead they're so ahead. The legal the lawmakers are behind, so they're playing catch up to a certain extent. But let me continue. But Hilary Allen, a financial regulation professor at American University, cautioned against moving too fast to embrace cryptocurrencies. I think cryptocurrency is a place where we should be putting the brakes on this innovation until it is better understood, she said. As crypto becomes more integrated in our financial system, it creates vulnerabilities not just to those who are investing in crypto, but for everyone who participates in our economy. I agree to a certain extent. That's why you need to educate yourself. We have a small favor to ask. Tens of millions have placed their trust in the Guardians. Yeah, that's the end of the article. So let me know what you think below. And it's your boy Crypto Trapper with another video. It's your boy Crypto Trapper, and I'm out.